quick sound check. I want to do a quick sound check. If y'all could just give me a thumbs up in your screen if you can hear me okay. All right, good deal. Welcome everybody. Welcome to our information sharing session. Happy Wednesday. It means we're getting close to almost being halfway through the week. I hope everyone's doing well. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Chad Allgood. I am one of the co-directors of the Division of Early Childhood Care and Development here at the Mississippi Department of Human Services. I've got a few others from our team that are joining us today. I have, I think, Vicki Lowry, who is my co-director. She's, I don't know if she's joined the session yet or not. She'll probably jump on in a minute if she hasn't. Angela Crockett, who is one of the deputy directors of the division. And then Angela also oversees the child care payment program. Many of you are probably very familiar with Angela. Also have Ashley Roper, who is our project coordinator for the division. Ashley, you may have seen some emails from her. She's been helping with the booster shot applications and several other things. So she's also joining us. We also have a couple of our folks from the Resource and Referral Network, as well as some of our trainers. Good to see you all this morning. Thanks for joining in. Is there anybody else that I'm missing, Angela or Ashley, that y'all see?
Nothing I can see, Chad.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do this morning, we're going to follow our same format that we usually follow for our information sharing sessions. We're going to provide you all with a few updates from the division about some things that are coming up, and then we're going to give you all the opportunity to ask questions about things that may be happening, things you may may need some information about. I will say up front, if you have questions that are about specific child certificates or things that are specific to your program, we do prefer that you ask those questions by either calling our call center or emailing the CC Payments email. We don't address questions about specific certificates. We do answer questions about general policies, things of that nature. And so what you'll do if you want to ask a question, you will type that question in the chat box, and then Angela is serving as our moderator. Laura Dixon is not with us today. She's on vacation, lucky her. We're glad that she's getting a break. But since Laura's on vacation, Angela is going to fill in as a moderator for asking questions. So if you'll type your questions in the chat box, and Angela will go through those questions. Just be patient. It may take a minute for us to get to you if we do have several questions. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go ahead and get started. Let's see. Can everyone see the PowerPoint presentation? If you can just give me a thumbs up, if you can see that. Okay, good deal. So we'll go ahead and we'll jump right in to one of the things that everyone's been very curious about. We have I'm sure you've heard that Mississippi has received funding for child care through the American Rescue Plan Act. That is true. Mississippi has in fact received a funding from the American Rescue Plan. Another thing that a lot of you have been asking about is if we're going to do another booster shot. Several of you have been asking about us doing a booster shot. We are not going to be doing a booster shot, and here's why. Of the funding that we received, over $319 million, and I've got the amount there on the screen, is $476,474 we have received what is called Stabilization Funds. What that means is all 319 million and some change of that funds, that is appropriated to go directly to childcare providers. That is the purpose of that funding. And DECCD is going to be is going to be channeling that funding directly to you all, directly to childcare centers in the forms of grant applications. We're doing everything we can to make the grant process as uncomplicated as possible. We're going to make it as easy to navigate as possible. It will be somewhat similar to the booster shot application. There will be a short application that you'll have to complete, and then there will be some requirements about how much money you're going to get, and then how to report on the money that you are receiving. In an effort to help make this process as easy as possible, we're also going to have the resource and referral folks that are going to help provide some assistance with navigating that process. We are not yet releasing the application. We just received guidance on these funds a couple of weeks ago. We've been putting together the plan for what this application process is going to look like. The American Rescue Plan does require that these amounts that you all receive be based on your operating cost. And so we've been working on it with the feds to determine exactly what that means. And again, when we're looking at basing this on your operating costs, how can we make this as easy as possible to happen? So we've put together a tentative plan for issuing out these funds through grant applications. We are pulling together the Child Care Task Force. And the task force is the group that has been meeting since the pandemic started. They're the group that we have used to get some feedback on, like with our CARES funding that we sent out, our CURSA dollars, and now these Arpa funds. We are meeting with them on next Monday. After we have that meeting, you should all be receiving word from us on the stabilization funds, how to apply, and how to get that process going. Like I said, all $319,476,474, that will go directly to child care. That will not be used for any other purpose. That will be money that will be directly injected into child care programs. And that is why we're not doing a booster shot. In addition to the 319 million, Mississippi also has received an additional 199,344,951 dollars from the American Rescue Plan, and that is categorized as what is called discretionary funds, CCDF discretionary funds, or CCDBG funds. We are still awaiting guidance from the Office of Child Care on exactly what that funding can be used for. All we have heard is it can be used for the similar purpose of what we use our other discretionary funds for. I can tell you that we will probably be using some of this funding for child care certificates. We will use a portion of it probably for that, as well as some other things. When we receive guidance from the Office of Child Care, as with the stabilization funds, we'll put together our tentative plan. We are going to work with our task force to kind of get some feedback on that. Although we do encourage you all, whether you provide the feedback to the task force, or if you provide that feedback directly to us, we do want to hear from you as to how best we can use these funds to support you all. One of the things that we have really tried to commit to is being responsive to the needs that you all have amid the pandemic. We know things are better than they were a year ago, but by no means, I don't think we're completely out of the woods yet. We want to make sure that, as we're continuing to move forward with this additional funding that we're getting, that we are in fact being responsive to you all and doing what you all need, to make sure that we're trying to keep you from struggling as much as possible. Something else, the first CCDF state plan public hearing is scheduled for June 8th at 11 a.m. virtual. We will be sending out an invite for that. And notice to say that's the first state plan hearing. This is the hearing that we will hold before we present the plan to the Office of Child Care. Once we present the state plan to the Office of Child Care, they will give us feedback on that state plan, and we will work with them to shore up all the details. Once we have gotten approval from the Office of Child Care, we will be holding a second hearing. And the second hearing is the one that we will do before, again, give you all opportunities to give us feedback on the state plan. And that will be before the state plan we will hold the hearing, get feedback from you all, look at, the different elements of it before we file it with the Secretary of State, and it will go into effect October 1 of 2021. So again, just look out we will be sending out notification about that public hearing in the next couple of days. Another thing that's coming up, you can begin direct signing up for direct deposit. We had some issues with the vendor with getting the emails out to you all. So we sent an email out through our system. Angela told me that you all have been receiving that, and I believe that several of you, I think you said between 200 and 300 people have already signed up. Angela, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So be on the lookout for that. Go ahead and get signed up for direct deposit. It is here. We're excited about it. We're going to be watching that first payout very closely to make sure that that goes smoothly. Hopefully, it'll go off without a hitch, and we will be able, from here forward, be able to send out your reimbursements through direct deposit instead of waiting on snail mail. Angela, did you have anything else you wanted to say about the direct deposit?
Yeah, just know that if you have multiple centers, that it is a registration for each center. So make sure that if you have two centers, that you look for two different emails, because they have codes on them that you will need to use that pertains to that particular location. So, and then that's it. Just go ahead and do it. I'm very excited for us to be able to provide the direct deposit for you guys, so that we won't have to track down checks and all of that good stuff. So if you could do that, it's immediately, especially with the first round of checks going out, you have to have ledgers in by the 5th. So if you want your direct deposit for the first go round, you really need to go ahead and do that immediately. Don't wait, because there will be a cutoff time before, after it. So to do it the first round, and if you don't make it the first round, then we'll have to do it the next round. But please try and go ahead and sign up for that. That would be awesome.
Am I still sharing the right screen? I accidentally hit stop share, and I think
yeah, it stopped shared, Chad.
Okay. Can you all see can you see the screen at all?
I mean, we see it, but it's like your view.
Okay.
I'm showing presenter view.
Okay, how's that? Oh, wait. All right, how's that?
It didn't change.
No? Okay, let me try this one more time. Gotta love technology, right? All right. How is that?
Yeah, it's back.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Good deal. All right. So anything else? Is that it about the booster shots, Angela? I mean the direct deposit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the other thing that we wanted to mention is we're still working on the closeouts of the booster shots. I'm going to let Ashley talk to you all for just a moment about what you need to be sure that you're doing with that process.
Good morning. Thank y'all so much for your patience regarding these booster shot closeouts. I know they've been very tedious, but y'all been doing very good getting them in. We're still having the majority of the issues that we're seeing that we're having to send them back for is that either the file is not being named correctly, or you're submitting multiple categories in one file, or you've uploaded the correct documentation, but you don't have a cover letter or whatever. So make sure that when you're naming your file, you've got your provider ID number, underscore, and then whatever the category is. So if your provider ID number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you spent $15,000 on salaries, then, you know, upload a cover letter with the documentation for the proof of the $15,000, whether it's a check or a, you know, ledger run or something of that nature, and then save the file as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 underscore salaries. And then just make sure too, one of the other issues that we're seeing is if most people are doing salaries, and if they have, and your pay ledger shows for this pay run, it was 17,000, but you were only awarded 15,000, then be sure on your cover letter to explain that only 15,000 of the total 17,000 was used from booster shot funds. We just got to be able to track those separately with the correct documentation. So I know it's tedious. Thank y'all for your patience with that. The last date is June 15th for those that received their checks in December. We still have a lot of providers that have not submitted anything yet. So if you have any trouble with the process, where to find the information, feel free to reach out to one of your local R&R sites, and those resource and referral people will be glad to walk you through the process.
Okay. Is that it, Ashley, with the booster shot?
That's it.
Okay, thank you. All right, just a couple more updates that we want to share with you all. With the those three other supports that we've had in place, the enrollment-based reimbursement, reimbursing you all based on enrollment versus your attendance. We are continuing that. We are continuing to cover parent co-payments, and we are going to continue to reimburse you all at that enhanced rate, at that 25% increase, definitely through December of 2021 and likely beyond that. So just that's just an FYI to know that those are still in place, and we are still going to continue doing that. Now, in regarding reimbursements, something else that is going on right now, we are currently conducting the market rate survey, and that is going on through the Social Science Research Center at Mississippi State. They are contacting you all to do your survey. I will say, when they contact you, we do highly encourage you all to participate in the market rate survey. What they'll do is they're going to contact you, and they're going to schedule a time to actually do the interview. When they call you back for your actual interview, please do everything you can to make that appointment and to participate. The market rate survey is how we make determinations about our reimbursement rates. It's been 3 years since our last market rate survey, and we depend on you all participating in the market rate survey, so we know that we are in fact reimbursing you as we should and at the level that we should. We know that as costs rise, the cost of providing care to children also rises. So just please be aware that the Social Science Research Center may be contacting you to do the survey, and please participate when they do contact you. The last thing that I wanted to mention is we are renaming the Resource and Referral Network. It was formerly called the Early Childhood Academy. we are going to be changing the name, and we want you to decide on what that name is going to be. So here in the next couple of weeks, we are going to be sending out, I'm not sure exactly how we're going to make it happen yet, but we want you all to vote on the name. We've got 2 or 3 names picked out, and we want you all to decide what you want the name to be. This resource and referral network, the site, and that includes everything. It's the sites, it is the training, it is the technical assistance. This is a network for you, and it's to help you. And we want to, we want you to feel like you're just as much a part of that network as the people that provide the training and the TA. It is your network. And with that being said, we do want you to, we do want you to be a part of that process of helping us to name the network. So just be on the lookout for that. And with that being said, that's all the updates that we have. So we can go ahead and get that, get to the questions that you all have.
The first question states, will you make your PowerPoint available to everyone?
This PowerPoint that we're sharing today, no, we probably will not be sending this out. You can, we are recording this. We are recording the session. We are making those available, the recordings available to view at a later date, but we're not going to actually send out the PowerPoint.
The next question, where do you sign up for Arpa funds?
So I'm assuming you're talking about the stabilization grants that I just mentioned. We will send out notification to you all once we do that. We're going to be meeting with our task force to talk to them about what we're kind of proposing as the process for getting those grants issued. After we have the meeting with them, then we'll be sending out notification about how you can apply for those grants. I will say this, I've gotten some emails from people with some misinformation about those grant fundings, which includes how much is available. There's also word going around that it's a first come, first serve. If you don't apply, you're not going to get money. There is ample money here, and we're going to make sure that everyone that is eligible for these grant funds is going to have the opportunity to apply for this program. This is not like a day after Thanksgiving Black Friday rush to get all the towels out of the bin at Walmart kind of situation. We're going to make sure that you all have an opportunity to apply for the funding. So just stay tuned. We will be sending out notifications here pretty soon.
The next question is, how do I know if I filed the booster shot documentations correctly? Will we get an email indicating either way?
So Ashley, when they complete the process, do you know what?
Yeah, ultimately we are going to send an official letter that will be emailed to you that says that everything has been closed out and it was correct. If you have not heard from us, that is more than likely what we're waiting on is just to get those letters sent out. We are using the platform that you submitted it through to email back for any clarifications we need, any issues. Most of them have been touched in one form or the other. So if you have not gotten communication, that's likely the case. However, we are working through them as quickly as we can, and it's just taken us a little while to get to all of them. So to answer the question, yes, we will be sending an official letter. However, you may have submitted it months ago and we just may not have gotten to it yet. So hang in there with us, and hopefully within the next week or so we can get all those sent out. But if we need something from you, then we will be contacting you for that.
When will the state plan draft be made available for review, and how will we announce that it's available?
It will be, I believe Laura is planning to get it posted tomorrow, which is the 5 days before the hearing. We can send out, we can send out an email that has the link where you can view the posting.
The next question, you said that we will be paid on enrollment rather than attendance, but how is that going to benefit us when certificates are being terminated, even without the 30-60-day notice?
All right, let me explain something in terms of the notices. The termination notices, if you're talking about certificates, those notifications are in fact being sent out. Parents are receiving the 60 and the 30-day notices. We did stop sending you all out those notifications because there is now a portal for you to access that gives you information on all of your parent certificates. You can access that portal at any time. It will give you the information that you need regarding those terminations. Am I correct, Angela?
Yeah, the regular notifications for the parents who in 2020 who went through the redetermination process and completed it successfully did not receive an emergency certificate. The notices that you are referring to where you did not get the 30-day notice was on the emergency certificates because the system was not built for that. And which is why we sent out the notice and informed everyone in February that the redetermination process was going to begin, which we sent out notices to all providers. And we also referred you to your portal to ensure that you kept up with that because that process was not built in. However, I did send out every notice, so a one-time notice on all of your parents to your emails for anybody that has upcoming deadline dates that have a series of we have a series of deadlines that's coming up. So parents have always been getting the 60-day notices. Some you need to remind them if we're getting bounce backs, we're calling parents to let them know, hey, we got a bounce back for your email. You need to update it. They are responsible for ensuring that they keep their email updated because that's how we're communicating with them. But notices were sent out to you. So you should have a list of all of your parents' letters with deadline dates. And also to make sure that they not wait to the last day because we're working those applications pretty quickly. And if they're missing something or something is not done correctly, then we won't have time to communicate that item with them. So those notices are being sent out. The notices that you are referring to were the emergency certificate and not our regular normal process. So your portal is very vital to you. So please use it because it gives you a overview of all of your parents. As soon as the 60-day notice is hit, you can see it at that particular time. The next question will be, will we get the direct deposit around the same time as the check or sooner? This is our first round, so we are going, the deadline is to be out of our office by the 15th. So we're sticking with that right now until we get the system in place. There is an opportunity for that to happen sooner, but right now we're going to stick with what we've been doing, and that's just making sure that it's out of our office by the 15th.
That being said, the direct deposit should be a lot quicker than you receiving. It should, when we authorize the payment, it should go through that evening or at the time that we authorize, when we authorize. So it shouldn't take 2 or 3 days for you to receive it once we process it. The goal is for it to be, whenever, I guess it's like the evening after, Ashley, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's within 24 hours. Now, holidays, weekends, things of that nature could affect that, but our plan is to make sure that they're issued by that date, which means that they should be hitting your account that day or the next.
Will family daycare homes take part in the Stabilization Fund program?
That defeats the purpose.
What the purpose of the family daycare or with the family daycare homes, if they qualify, Well, the way the law is written is that any child care provider that is what is called CCDF eligible can participate in receiving stabilization funds. So that means that they have to participate in the health and safety training and have the background checks that are required to participate. So yes, they are available to participate, provided that they are CCDF eligible.
How are the co-payments being paid? There, when you complete your ledger, and you'll look in the spot where it normally has an amount for the parent, it has 0, you are receiving, so we're not taking any co-payments out of your payment. You're receiving the full payment for the parent. Their co-payment plus your normal monthly payment when we normally deduct it. We're not deducting it now. So that is where you will see that. Thanks, Angela. Saw my portal. Okay, good, Debbie. I'm glad you're using it because it is helpful. Does it mean checks could be deposited after the 15th? No. That does not mean that the checks will be deposited after the 15th. We will meet our normal deadlines of the checks being released from our office by the 15th. So once we get a notification that funds are available, then we start that process. Anything you want to add, Ashley or Chad, to that?
I say the goal is when we plan to run the checks, instead of normally what we do is we have to get the checks prepared. We send them down to the mailroom. They print the checks. They put them in envelopes. They have to send them out. They go through the mail. All that will be eliminated. Essentially, what happens is we notify the vendor when we process the checks, and we will follow our same schedule. It should be, like Ashley said, within 24 hours, you should have your money. It's going to, the way direct deposit works is it will hit the bank account within 24 hours of when we authorize the payments to go through. So it should be much quicker. It's a much quicker turnaround than us mailing the checks out, through snail mail.
And I think
So,
the more that we go through this process and get all the kinks worked out, I think you will see a quicker turnaround time than even that. I just, we don't want to commit to you receiving it prior to the 15th because this is our first rodeo. So we're just
right.
now, figuring out what kind of time frames we need and all that. So we don't want to commit to anything sooner than that, but I think in the long run, you will see that there will be a much quicker turnaround.
Debbie says she also received her notices, and that was the last question.
Okay.
Where are the checks mailed from? When checks are mailed, they're mailed from Jackson. You guys, I've been with this experience with you guys for a while in regards to the mailing of the checks. And when we release them from our office to the mail, we have no way of checking or tracking your check. We can only tell you that what day they've been mailed, but we have no control of it after that. So if the mail is slow, which we've had, or one area has gotten it and the other part of the state has not, we have no way of being able to identify what happened until the checks are returned to us. Sometimes when if we get that check returned to us, we've had several instances where you moved, the address has been changed, or someone has not paid for their PO box, or it's just an abundance of things. If it's a storm, as Debbie just said, so we just don't have as much control as with tracking a check, and then you have to wait, send in the lost warrant, get it signed, then we cancel the check, and then all of a sudden the check is in the mail and you can't use it. You receive the check and then you can't use it because we've already canceled it because we started the direct deposit process. So we're wanting to really eliminate all of those processes of being able for a lost checks. I know I've gotten a lot of emails recently over the last week or two where people were just wanting to stay with the checks, and that's your choice to do so. We're not making it mandatory at this time for you to sign up for that, but just know that all of those things can take place, and it's not always easy to just pop a check out really quickly. So so please just be mindful of that. Is direct deposit, is it mandatory? It is not mandatory.
Angela,
Debbie?
do you mind if I say something else on the direct
Sure,
deposit?
go ahead, Ashley.
Y'all, and you may not, if you have not signed up yet, you're not familiar with it, but there is a portal that houses all the data of what you received, when you received it. I just know with the booster shot closeout, a lot of people, don't have access to previous payments. They didn't keep a copy of the check or whatnot. This is a great platform to house all that information of what you received and when you receive it, in the event that you have to go back and pull documentation for any kind of auditing or, closeout purposes or anything of that nature.
Angela is right. I communicate with her and my check was put in the wrong post office and it took me 5 extra days to get my check.
And that's again, with the direct deposit, like we've said, it will give us a way to have more control over, how the funds are distributed, not just in terms of time, but if for whatever reason there may be some sort of, mix up, we can fix it a lot quicker than if we're waiting on the checks to come, through the mail system. So we are not making direct deposit mandatory at this time, but I do feel like this will be a way to solve a lot of the issues with you all being delayed at getting your funding.
Chad, this one says renewing health and safety training has been difficult. I was told to check daily, but they are always closed by the time I check.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a note of that. We've been looking at ways of making that an easier process. I'm gonna make a note of that too. When you say that when you're told to check daily, was that through the health department, through the resource and referral? Who did you talk to? The person that just made that comment, if you don't mind.
Nothing yet.
Okay.
Health department.
Okay. All right. I'm making a note of that. We are looking at some ways of making that run a little bit easier too. So I please let us know as you continue to have problems. We're trying to make that process as easy and streamlined as possible also.
That's it.
I will say this in terms of, I know, there's questions about, like with the state plan, as far as like the quality piece, we are making no changes to the standard designation right now. We're not even making centers go back through the standard designation process. There is the health and safety training is going to need to be updated, but that's separate. But in terms of having to go back through that standard application process, you're not required to do that at this time, and we're not putting anything else in terms of extra requirements in place. Now, new programs that want to be on the child care payment program, they will have to go through the standard designation. But if you've already done that process, if you've done that application, you're good to go. And there's no change to that in the state plan at all. We did have to change some names because, like I said, the Early Childhood Academy, the Early Childhood Academy itself does not exist. We're working directly with the community colleges now, instead of working with the community college board and the community colleges. But you know, as of right now, there are no additional quality requirements. I am planning. I have mentioned before that we intend to do a roadshow where we're going to come around the state to talk to you all about quality. You know, about the quality support system, what you would like to see, what you think, you know, what you think quality looks like, how you think we should be, you know, addressing quality. And I'm sticking to that. So there are no changes at all in terms of any kind of quality requirements whatsoever. I just wanted to make sure that made that clarification.
Debbie said, thanks, Chad. Is there a new health and safety class? We did one maybe 2016. I walked away for a minute. So
The new health, the health and safety training is being done through the health department. You can sign up for that. You go to the health department's training website, and you can sign up for it that way. We've had a couple of other people that are saying that those are filling up really quickly. So I've made a note to address that. We need to open up. I think we need to be able to open that health and safety training up some more. Offer it more than it's currently being offered. So, but as of right now, you do go through the health department.
the next one was, we appreciate your plans for the roadshow and allowing us to have input on quality. And that was the last question or statement.
Well, I know that quality, you know, it's been a difficult topic for us to tackle as a state, and we're going to do everything we can to get it right. Well, we're going to do everything we can to get it right this time. Let me just say that. And I do feel that doing it in the right way means, you know, you all need to be involved in that planning process, and not just at the beginning, but as we plan that process, as we continue to plan that process, making sure that you all are involved in what that looks like and what that's going to be. We want to offer you quality support, not quality rating. Let me just say that. I think that anything we do regarding quality should help lift you up, not make you feel torn down or feel like, or put standards in place on you that are too difficult to maintain.
Is there a deadline for the health and safety class?
The health and safety class, they're going to be offered in continuum. They will be offered. They're going to be offered ongoing on an ongoing basis. Is that the question?
It's a statement. Wow, that is what we want to hear, Chad. That's the last thing.
Did I answer the question about the health and safety deadline? It needs to be kept current. So if you're I think if it's expired, you will need to take it. You will need to make sure it's renewed.
Yep. And you can use those those health and safety training, when you update, you can use it within your 15 hours. So you want that. Anything, well, she said, no, you didn't explain it.
Okay, so I believe, on the health and safety, there was I believe that has to be renewed every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so if your last training was over 2 years old, go ahead and try to get signed up. If you're having difficulty getting signed up, notify us. You can shoot an email to CC Payments and they can route it on to me. Like I said, I think we're having we're kind of having a bottleneck issue right now. Everyone's trying to get renewed at the same time, and I think we're needing to open up more health and safety trainings for people.
Anything new about director's credential? Sorry to sound like a broken record, but we need this.
Okay, so I believe right now we're in the process of scheduling director's renewal. Robin, I see you on here. Am I right about that? Okay, so director's credential renewal, we are currently scheduling that. Yes, we're like that far away from being able to offer the full director's credential class again in its entirety. So we're getting close. Yes, go ahead.
We did send out, and I don't know that everybody got it because sometimes emails don't go through, especially when we send them in bulk. We are asking people who are interested in taking it to please, if they can, and they can send an email to me at robin.griffith@msdh.ms.gov and let me know that they're interested, but we're just doing an interest level sign up right now. It's not an official registration. We're trying to see what regions of the state need it the most so that we can concentrate those first classes where we have the highest number of people interested. So they can either call their local resource and referral office if they know what that is, if they know their resource and referral associates, if they're close by there, or they can just send me an email and let me know who they are, where they're located, what role they play, if they're a teacher or if they're a director designee. Yes, thank you for putting that in there for me, Chad. So that will help us understand the regions of the state where we need to go first.
Yeah, I just I did it, and then Angela also put Robin's email address in the
I think all
chat.
three of us did it.
Yep.
It's in there 3 times. Where's the link to previous meeting recordings? The link I tried from the MDHS website did not work.
Yeah, we're working on, we know that there's still some broken links on our website. Let me make a note of that one. So just to kind of explain a little bit about what happened, all of that information was being housed on the CCAC website, and we made a decision back in December that rather than CCAC serving as what's called our consumer education website, which is required by the state plan, we've migrated that back to the MDHS DECCD website. We're still in the process of that migration. So we know that some of the links are broken. We're working with our communications division to get all that fixed. Thank you for letting me know though, so I can notify communications that they need to look at that and get that fixed. But we will get that. We will get those links fixed for you. Our website's you're gonna start seeing some changes to the website in the coming months. We're trying to make it easier to navigate. We know right now it's a little difficult. There's a lot of information there. It's kind of hard to find some things, but not only DECCD, but the agency as a whole is working on a complete revamp of the entire MDHS website. So I did make a note of that, and we'll try to get that fixed as soon as possible.
Director's credential scheduled classes are through resource and referral centers.
The renewal, so Robin, do they contact their local resource and referral to schedule renewal? How are y'all handling the?
Yeah, we are actually letting the resource and referral offices handle those. We have 4 that are scheduled in June, and I can give you those very quickly. We have one at ICC on June 10th. We have one actually at, I believe it's at Jones on June 8th. We have one on June 22nd at, Tammy's doing it. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at my calendar. I'm not looking at the flyers. There's one on the 22nd, I believe, in Natchez. And then there's one on the 24th in at Northwest in Senatobia. The 8th and the 22nd are the two that Tammy's doing, and I'm sorry, I'm just looking at, I have her name written in, I don't have her location. Let me look that up real quick and I can tell you.
Okay.
Hey, Robin, if you guys will send that information to me, we can send an email out to everyone.
Okay. All right. That would be wonderful.
All right, we've got about 5 more minutes. Anybody else have any other questions? Anything
Nothing
popping
else.
up, Angela?
No?
Well, we'll hang on for, until 12 o'clock if anyone does have any questions, but I can go ahead and let all of you go. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We do really value these opportunities to talk directly with you all. We are going to continue these information sharing sessions. I think they provide all of us about a very valuable opportunity. It gives us an opportunity to share some updates directly with you all, and then it gives you all an opportunity to ask questions directly to us. So again, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Chad?
Yes.
I was just going to say, the one on the 8th is going to actually be at Southwest Community College, and the one on the 22nd is going to be at Jones.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'll send those to Angela and she can send those out.
Okay. So we'll email out the information about the director's renewal classes. We'll send that out. So like I was saying, just thank you all so much for your time. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a good rest of your day, a great rest of your week. Y'all stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.